Hello, my friends. It is July 12th. I hope you guys are having a beautiful, spectacular, immaculate day. It is July 12th. I am currently stocking a long entry Esther setup. I might even check an A setup today just because we already had an SMT overnight not too long ago, an hour, 30 minutes ago. So we might not have another SMT that comes up, but I got some limit orders that are lower just in case PPI gives me something, a quick wick down, but then remain up in these two. That's kind of what I'm expecting. But also, with the way price looks, it could just nosebleed up into the highs from yesterday, which the highs from yesterday and the ones we've been stocking for since the beginning of the week and before that. So I could definitely see it just running right up to 120.11 and even past that. We got Michigan consumer sentiment today, and we got not only do we have Michigan consumer sentiment, but we have PPI at 8:30, so in about 5 minutes. Stocking. I would love to see, like, on PPI we come down and we just disrupt this and then remain in an SMT, like, for one of these lows and not get taken out, basically. That's what I would like to see in this limit order here get filled, or even a little bit lower get filled. I'll put that limit order right there and I'll take the flame down. So, because that's really all we need to see here. I already know exactly what I'm looking for. I got it on my, like I always say, guys, I'm pretty zoomed in right now on my charts. However, I have a whole entire time frame chart literally above this chart and some other 15-minute charts right on the right on a different screen. So I definitely have a full view of what price is doing, and you guys should too. But if you don't have more than one screen, that's totally fine. You could definitely do this for one screen. You just flick back, and that actually helps you too, because if you're flicking back, you don't have time to like babysit your position, because you're looking at these higher time frame charts and then flicking back to lower time frame charts to see how they're moving. So we got 3 minutes basically until PPI comes out. We want to see what's happening here. Again, I'm looking for an S tier setup. My levels that I'm looking at is 120 and 111. Well, just for the transparency's sake, I'll put that at 111. And we'll see what happens in 2 minutes. Gotta be pretty quick on the draw here. Gonna put this back on the 15-minute chart too. I do see some relatively good lows out here. I wouldn't find it bad if we came back on a wick and cleared these and then came back up very fast. Like, that would be something I'd be interested in entering. That's why I got these limit orders down low, just in case that does happen, because that's definitely possible. But yeah, we'll see. Let's move this down to 5 ticks. Minute left into PPI. Minute 30 actually. So today is another day of focus, and the question I want to pose today to you guys is, why do you want to trade? And statement I want to add to that is, once you do your self-reflection and figure out why it is that you want to trade, if it ends up being a selfish reason, do know that it is inevitable to be greedy in trading if you're trading for a selfish reason. So I just want to put that there. It's one of the easiest ways to conquer greed is to stay free, be free, and stay free of selfishness. So always have a bigger goal that doesn't have just you in mind. So, those types of things could be anything, like charity, can be helping your parents out, can be helping the people that you randomly see. It could be, I want to do this, But bigger than that, I want to be able to walk around with some money in my pocket. So if I see somebody and I feel led to give them something, I could just, there's no barriers. I could just do it immediately. So things like that. Those are really the big things that you want to really keep as a goal, and not just as a goal. That should be really your paramount goal. Because if you learn how to trade well, you're gonna be good. So we just had a quick move lower, and now it seems like we're gonna go higher than that. Just got stopped out here. Just want to let you guys know I did just get stopped out on a quick 478 loss. So I just took a loss real quick. I did plan on taking 2 trades today, so with that in mind, I'm definitely looking to take one more trade. We will see though, because again, I'm only taking S tier setups. I probably should have had that limit order a bit deeper because it wasn't technically an S tier setup, but you know, it is what it is. We just go back and trade again. A little bit peeved with myself just there because I shouldn't have really had any of those orders up, to be honest. I should have waited and seen this and then entered as a course. So we're definitely watching to see what happens here. Again, only taking S tier setups, which means there has to be an SMT between these 3, which means we're probably not going to get a setup until around like 9:15 at least, because we have to have this show like a wick, then the next candle close, and then that other candle afterwards close below it. My internals right now are a little bit annoyed just because it wasn't that smart to have the limit orders resting beforehand. I should have waited until we actually saw the SMT. I feel like that was like a mistake that didn't have to happen. I'll put it like that. I didn't have to go through that. I could have just let it sit and then wait until, you know, afterwards, especially because we have Michigan consumer sentiment at 10. So that would have been something that would have been better to do. I should say it like that. That would have been the smarter way of going about it. So I forgive myself though. It's all good. You guys just sent me take a loss. I took that loss. Interesting. I thought I had I definitely meant to have this as a 3 tick or as a 2 contract trade. But since I took it at 3 contracts, the next contract I'm going to take is at 1. And again, it has to be an S tier setup. So we're just watching. We'll even see if there's an S tier setup here on the lower time frames. The reason why I'm not taking this, even though we have this wick right now, is because we had a big gap yesterday. So there's really nothing on any time frames that's going to constitute an S&T here. Just so you guys know. So even if we do drop below this, yep. I'm a little bit annoyed at myself, but I'm cool. I'm relaxed. Only thing I would have done differently is, even when I say I dropped that limit order, the limit order should have stayed here at the 10 level, even though the level that I was looking for was 11, just because we have these clear lows. So we're going to come down to 11 again. We probably were going to come back up to here. So that's just something that I'll note, knowing that my first original plan definitely would have been good to go, but I got stopped out literally by 1 tick. So, you know, that happens sometimes. So you just got to keep it pushing.
And I'm going through right now in my head. Just want to let you guys know like the full X-ray vision. Right now in my head, I am making it my biggest proponent is to make sure that I don't beat myself up too heavily. That is my biggest proponent right now. Because there's thoughts that are trying to stay in my head that are like, oh, you shouldn't have done that. How could you do something like that? Things of that nature. But you don't want to berate yourself. You don't want to condemn yourself because that will not help you at all in trading. Realistically, I could have entered again here, but like I said, I want to really prepare myself to take just S tier setups. But we'll see what ends up happening going forward. Because we're going to come back up here. We already cleared this low, and now that we're doing this, that means that there's no volume, not a lot of volume down here. I just want to start looking at these other time frames. Let's see if we start to get any type of S&Ts that could occur in here. And then the fact that we have TPI as a clear stops, and I was expecting that. Like I said, the best thing to do would have been to leave my limit order here as I had it on my other charts and keep the same exact stop because I literally had a 5-tick stop loss. And it went down 4 ticks. So, but these things happen sometimes. So you can't, don't beat yourself up about it. Do not beat yourself up about it because it doesn't help you. It only makes you more hesitant to take the next trade. And like I said, today I plan to take 2 trades anyway. So what's going through my head right now as far as like, I'm over the not beating myself up. I'm cool. What's going through my head right now is, will we see another S&T? Because we just cleared lows on all 3, so we might not need to clear lows again. So that's the inner musing that I'm going through right now. So next week, I can already tell you what my trading theme for next week will be. It'll be take the graded setups that I've seen. However, it'll be whatever is my first voice setup, the first one that I see, the first one that makes sense to me, the first one that looks correct. Take that and don't change anything. That will be my next. That'll be next week's goal. For this week's goal, I didn't do as well as I could have. I definitely could have done a lot better, just based on there's an S-tier set on Monday, but I wasn't at the trading session. That was the only one that I saw this week. Other days I didn't trade. And then today, there was an S-tier trade that I took earlier this morning on my eval accounts. It was from 119.12, but I didn't take it on the funded accounts just because I'm trying to keep it within 8 to 11 a.m. However, the bond kill zone is from 3 to 9 a.m. So I could have taken that trade basically, is what I'm saying, and then been out for the day. It's a good fair value gap here. If I was taking A plus setups, I would actually take a trade right here. I'm liking this right now based on like on the lower time frames charts. There's definitely a SMT probably happening like on the 1 minute or something right now. If I had to guess. Closer to it, most likely. So just watching here. We did get close to an SMT in this area. Remember the level that I was looking at is 11. I would actually be okay with taking a trade here at 11 if he gives it to me. So I'm gonna actually drop the limit order here. One contract though because I took a loss before. Because we get relative equal lows here and then clear higher highs. We might not get it though. It looks like we're gonna actually leave that. And go back to the 15-minute chart here. See where we're at. But that's why I was seeing that I like the way the volume looked on these candles. Because we getting like lower volume here, or like we were getting lower volume here, but it wasn't following through on the other two. And remember, I have the other setups like on my chart above me. Looks like I missed the opportunity to enter down there. The original drop lower was the best place to enter. I would also enter, let me go look at my 20, 15. So 15 is here. So I would enter, I'll take one entry here. This will be an A setup. This will not be a S tier setup. It went to my setup, but it didn't fill me. That sometimes happens. And I'm looking at it like this. I'm looking at it like as if this wick doesn't exist and this is the low. Because this was a stop run. So if it gives me that, it probably won't though. I'm just gonna be honest. It probably won't. By the looks of what's happening right now, it's probably not gonna give me that. So we're just watching to see. The 15 level is also, it is one tick above a daily refined mitigation block, and it is, so this is actually an A setup. This isn't an S tier because there's no SMT actually at the setup. So, oh, okay. Sorry about that. Apologies for that. One of my trade platforms disconnected me. Now, for this setup, though, I will say I entered right at the opening price at 12. I would rather this become support and not come beneath it. And I'm really taking if you go look at these lower time frames, I'm really just taking the fact that ZF or the 5 year looks very bullish after this. This is like a wick with no entire volume. So this gives me that we're going to come back up into this gap. So that's why I took a trade here, even though technically it wasn't an S tier setup. It's an A plus setup, or it's an A setup, I should say. But yeah, so far the things I've done incorrectly today was I should have allowed my setup from here to just be at the actual lows with my normal stop loss. Second thing I would have done differently is I would have entered in this fair value gap instead. When it went down lower and I got stopped out, I would have immediately entered again. However, I was battling that like hesitation and like making sure my mind didn't go to a place of condemnation. So I had to battle that, and then once that was over, then enter so I could see the market correctly and not be looking at it from a tainted perspective. I like this a lot. How prices are looking right now, it definitely gives me the vibe that we're going to continue going up. Really, how the 5 years looking is front running right now, and I expect the other two instruments to follow through. we're pretty much 80% of the way to my target, so I'm gonna go ahead and make a break even right here. Sorry about that, guys. And realistically, I just want to make back half of the loss I just made. So I just took a $475 loss. So half of that is $250 should be cool. So 8 ticks is really what I want to take off of this. So at 23, I'll take this one off. Just so I can make back half and go back to my risk that I was at before. So go back to 3 contracts per trade. I'm just putting at least 1 tick up because you really shouldn't allow your winning trades, like the one that is happening literally right now. You really shouldn't allow your winning trades to ever go back to being the loser when it's went up 80%, 75% really. If it went up 75% of your trade and it comes back to your stop or it comes back to your entry, a lot of times it's just best to get out of that. So it looks like for the rest of the day, A tier setups are going to be the one that we're taking. Why? Because we already had this stop run, and SMTs dictates that we're having a stop run. So in this instance, since we already have this clear stop run on all 3, we're probably not gonna go back on the list low here. So that's what I'm assuming. So everything else should be A tier setup. So this is how you can build back that equity. So we got a tick shy of our take profit here. I'm actually gonna move this up a little bit more. Just 2 ticks. Just so I get something, obviously. Michigan consumer sentiment is coming out at 9. And like I said, since there it is, so may have that loss back. You guys are literally gonna see me build this account back. So may have that loss back. Best thing today would have been to keep my limit order here, and it would have got shy. It would have got close. It would have got close, but it wouldn't have took it out. But we're gonna end up going here for sure. Well, not for sure, but it's likely. There's no price action in this gap that's inefficient, so they're probably gonna fill that up. And we just seen it get to the bottom, and then we're probably gonna fill the entire thing up. Now, going forward, would I take any more trades today? So I made a couple blunders today, and I'm happy that I'm recording, so I can talk about them and let you guys know how it happens. So I'm copy trading right now. Well, I'm not copy trading, but I have multiple funded accounts, yeah. And because of the way I was feeling, because of the way I was feeling, 8:30 was here. So I actually would take another trade right here on my funded accounts. Because of the way I was feeling, it made me, what's the word I'm looking for? It made me a little bit hesitant to enter in all my accounts, which isn't good because honestly, if I'm entering in one funded account, the TradeAway account, which is funded, the same goes for every single account because I'm taking the same exact trades. Now, the reason why I bring that up is because I had that 30-second to a minute span of me having to calm myself down and positive talk myself and think good thoughts and all that type of stuff and not allow my brain to go to a condemning nature. I was slow in getting the other orders in, basically is what I'm saying. So because I was slow in getting the other orders in, I wasn't able to enter these other trades in my other funded accounts, which is annoying, obviously. However, you just gotta go with it. And like I said, today is gonna be a day full of trade opportunities. So I'm not gonna beat myself up about it at all. yeah, these are the highs I'm expecting to get taken out. And I'm very happy that I was able to, at least on the, the account that I'm showing you guys, at least on the account that I'm showing you guys, be able to, you can be like, all right, take this loss. I'm not gonna let myself sit down. I'm not only doing this for myself, I'm trying to teach my friends and family how to trade as well. So you gotta know how to come back to losses. Now, the question might be, why didn't you allow the loss to go back up to here? Because the focus really is to make back when you take losses. You want to be your equity wants you want to have it like a stair stepper. You don't want to have it like a straight up shot or a straight down shot. You want it to be like, okay, I took a loss, then my next loss or my next trade is going to be half the risk. Or if it's, since I took 3 contracts, I meant to take 2. I want to put that out there. I definitely meant to take 2 contracts today, but I didn't focus enough to see that there were 3. So because I took a 3 contract loss, I have to make back at least half of that loss to get back to trading 3 contracts again. So if I was trading 2 contracts, make back half of that loss and then come back. The reason you do that is so that when you're going through those periods of drawdown, you don't give back everything you made to the market. You do it in a way that, okay, it goes this, then this, then this, then this, and it goes like 1 trade. Okay, I did something wrong, or it just was an incorrect trade. Next trade, I did something wrong, or it just was an incorrect trade. Trade after that, next trade, I did something wrong, or it's an incorrect trade. But every time you're taking an incorrect trade, you're minimizing your risk by half. Another big thing is, that's what I was going to say, but I lost my train of thought. But I got it back. Another thing I would say is when you have like 3 so you see how I had 3 contracts on? I didn't go to 2 contracts on the next one because if you want to take the lower. So whatever is half and the lower. So obviously 3 divided by 2, or 3 divided by 2 is 1.5. I think that's right. Yeah. Half of 3 is 1.5. I should say that. Half of 3 is 1.5. You can't have half contracts, so that means that I would have to have 1 contract for the next trade, if that makes sense. So now I'm expecting this to be where we end up going. Just so you guys full transparency. It may take all the way into Michigan consumer sentiment to get there though. Just again, full transparency. But what I also don't want to see, I don't want to see too much below this opening. We had a big, nice move down, cleared stops. Now I'm expecting that this move here should, we should see this as like a resistance level. We do see that 5 years front running though, so keep that in mind. And what I mean by front running, we're moving up higher and we're starting to see S&Ts around this level. But again, I'm expecting that we had a clear stop run lower, like very clear, obvious, and that that was all that's needed. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, when I say that as well, you have to take into account that. Sorry. You have to take into account. Apologies, my friends. I'm noticing that I did something incorrect on. You have to take into account that we already cleared all these lows. And let me pull this lower time frame or this higher time frame chart and so you guys can see. These are levels I was looking at all night going into today. What I did not want to see is, well, now that we've cleared these lows, volume higher here, I really don't want to see this candle taken over. And not even just taken over, I want to see us push heavily higher. from where we entered, or from not even where we entered, but from where we are now in price. So we'll see what ends up happening. But like I said, I was looking for really S tier setups. I so ran on TV randomly. It's okay. I was looking for S tier setups today. However, I saw that A grade setup. I saw it, so I had to take it. I had to take it just based on. I didn't have to, but based on what I know, it was a good setup to take. Basically, is what I'm saying. There's also another A setup that looks like it's forming right here. Cleared this. It would not be a bad setup to take here, but I'm not. I already took 2 trades in this account, so I'm gonna put a limit order. That is at 20. So I just put a limit order there at 20. So it just filled me here. It's basically a model 13. Your stop for this one would have to be at least here. So entered at 20, stop has to be 15. But like I said, this could be an incorrect trade. It's possible because it is in an S tier setup, so it is going to have a little bit less of a likelihood of being winners. But I do think that this is going to be a good setup. But we might have to wait because Michigan consumer sentiment is a long way from now. We got 57 minutes, but I like where I entered here. I'm gonna probably end there. Oh, whoa, it's 9 o'clock. I have to get back to work, so I am gonna exit the recording down, but I will let you guys know how this trade ends up playing out. So, talk to you guys later. You guys saw me take a loss, make back half that loss, keep it pushing, allow myself to be wrong, and not allow myself to condemn myself for being wrong. So, hope that you guys learned something from today. If I don't talk to you guys again, yeah. Well, I'll let you know how that other trade goes. Anyways, talk to you later. Bye.